Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Barrelup Podcast with your host, John Carlos. I got my boy, Cruz, my co-host for the show today. Episode 28. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay throughout this pandemic, as we're still in this pandemic. But baseball's back, and we've had our first week and a half of play. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot of information to disperse, to talk about, to analyze, as there's been a lot of negative, and also positive things that have transpired throughout the first week of baseball. Brando, talk to me, man. Talk to me about the first week of baseball. Your thoughts, bro?
I'm excited. Not as a fan of my particular team, but baseball is back. There's some intriguing headlines, some players that I didn't expect to produce so early, but they are producing some surprise teams.
Yep.
And we're gonna get into detail about that. And COVID has affected Major League Baseball in a negative way. Well, it's negative, but in the way that we didn't want. And we're just gonna get more into detail into that.
I'm gonna talk to you about how the Bronx Bombers, the Yankees are off to an amazing start.
As expected.
Yeah. Their hitters are in tune, coming to play every day. They have the best power ratings right now in Major League Baseball. Let's mention the Judge man himself, Aaron Judge. He is tied for first with Nick Castellanos for home run.
Who had 5 coming into today, but
hit another one.
Just hit a home run today.
Correct, for home run
number 6.
Number 6 for both of them, so they're tied for first in the leagues, in their respective leagues. He's going crazy. He's going very, very fast for those two players. Like, things are clicking, as per se. And now that we're talking about a New York team like the Yankees, let's talk about the Mets. Mets, they're always going through something negative. They're always going through something positive at the same time, but it's never a happy ending story for the Mets. It seems to be.
The Mets, every year, on paper, look like the team that could win the World Series. But we always, I don't know, man. We always get hit by the injury bug, always.
The Mets is a team that, if you're a fan of the team, you go through a lot of heartaches in your lifetime because they never seem to get it right. I don't know. They got to change, the ownership of that team. They are for sale right now. Something has to happen. Let's talk about some positive stats that the Mets have been displaying. The veteran, one of my favorites, Robinson Cano, is off to a hot start, hitting .412 as a batting average for this year, right? 7 RBIs the guy has this year, 7 runs batted in, and just the day before yesterday, he batted in 3. The guy is showing late life in his late career. I'm very excited for that, but there's some negative things that are going on with him. Obviously, he pulls, or he has a tight groin.
Had to leave the game yesterday against the Braves.
It's not good.
Like I said, the Mets always get hit with the injury bug. They lost Jeff McNeil. He got scratched. He was supposed to, he got scratched due to lower back stiffness. And also, Med Rosario had to be taken out of the game yesterday for left quad tightness. So, maybe it is fatigue. These guys haven't had a break. They've been playing nonstop for the past, 10 days?
Yeah.
The Mets have been playing, I think, 10. This will be the 11th straight game.
Yeah.
Tonight. So fatigue is going to set in very quickly. And
those are 3 major blows for the Mets.
That's their entire infield.
That's their entire infield right there. Med Rosario, Jeff McNeil. Those are two key sticks in that lineup, and obviously the veteran Cano. I don't know, man. It seems like every player that transitions, that comes to New York, especially the Mets, even, coming off hot seasons in another team or whatever, they come here and they decline. Luis Castillo is a prime example of that. There's many players. Jason Bay. Oh, my God. You name it. But it's still early, and we can't say that too loudly because there's only 60 games in the season. It's still early in the season, respectively enough. So we will see if the Braves, which are the favorites to take it in the NL East, do end up doing so, or if the Mets bump up their game. What do you think about that, man?
Also, let's bring up the Braves. We got to bring in the bad news about Mike Soroka.
Mike Soroka, that they're
the young
starter.
ace, the young star. He tore his Achilles yesterday trying to field the ground ball. He's out for the year, unfortunately. I'm a Mets fan. I'm not saying I don't wish bad upon anybody or injury upon a player, but I'm not upset.
He's a stud, bro. He's a stud.
He's a great pitcher. Great pitcher. It's his 23rd birthday today, so happy birthday, Mike. Even though you're home, and I know you wish you were out on the field or on your team. Also, let's talk about some notable headlines for the day.
Okay.
Juan Soto was back.
Finally.
He's available off the bench. Won't be starting because he has to get his cardio back up, his stamina back up, so he can play day to day without any troubles. We got Joe Adell, number 6 prospect according to MLB.com.
For the Angels of Anaheim.
Will be making his debut tonight against the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. And also notable COVID type of
related
news.
Yeah, this is freaking nuts. Like, before you mention that, bro, this is crazy because MLB is being hit crazy. Like, they're getting hit very harshly by COVID. But in other leagues, in other countries, COVID did not affect in any type of way.
Listen, in Korea, I was watching the game this morning.
The IBO league.
They the KBO.
KBO, sorry.
They were playing, and they actually had fans in the stadium today. I was watching, but with distance, but you had fans in the stadium.
So it's just sad to see how we can't get it together here in the United States of America. Major League Baseball, there's been, like he's going to tell you right now, there's been a lot of COVID-related instances that have happened. You want to start with something? Go ahead.
So, bad news for the St. Louis Cardinals. They had Yadier Molina, Carlos Martinez, Paul DeJong, among others, test positive for COVID-19. They are in isolation. They have left the team. So it's just a matter of time, and they got to test positive twice.
Negative.
They got to test negative for the virus twice in order to return to playing.
That's just the Cardinals.
So that's just the Cardinals, and but also they're gonna find players to play to fill in the holes while they're gone because these games got to be played.
Right.
So like COVID is affecting a lot of teams that are good, that have potential, but now you're losing pretty much your offense production for a week, and that can hurt you. You can go 0-6, and going 0-6 in a 60-game season is not very good. It's not promising. In other news, we got the Marlins. They're resuming play tonight.
Finally.
They are playing, I believe they're playing the Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins are playing who, though?
I'm sorry. They're playing the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
But it's in a rain delay at the moment.
What was the story behind that? Because you say that they're returning to play, but for those fans or people that obviously don't know how COVID is affecting baseball, can you give them a little bit of an insight? What the hell happened with the Marlins? Like, well, it's great that they're back now, but what really happened?
Well, I was doing my research and I found out
shit was crazy.
Derek Jeter actually was upset and came out talking because there was a lot of people blaming because of the state of Florida had COVID, very high spikes. It was spiking over there, saying that the Marlins had it already. That they shouldn't have been allowed to even travel to Philadelphia or to Atlanta because they
were exposed to
exposed and they didn't know it. Because remember, this is a symptomatic virus. You don't know it until you get tested. Also, Derek Jeter was saying that it wasn't their fault because the team was very taken good. Was
taken care of very well.
Yeah, they were supervised very well in the sense that they weren't allowing them to leave the hotel room. If you wanted something to eat, it was being brought to you. So if you needed anything, you wouldn't leave your room, which is what you're supposed to do. So there's a lot of mystery with this whole pandemic thing. Like, I don't understand.
Thankfully enough, we're still watching baseball games on a daily basis.
Yes.
It hasn't been canceled, but just off rip, having 19 players in your organization.
Coaching staff included
as well. Talking about the Marlins getting tested and testing positive for COVID.
That's just
wicked.
Yeah, that's just very weird. I don't understand if it was like college baseball or college sports because kids are more reckless and more vulnerable to be out and not taking care of themselves and quarantining and social distancing.
My question is this: at what time, at what place does this happen that people get infected, especially for Major League Baseball players that are on a rigid schedule. Like you're from the field to the hotel. Obviously, you can have your life and do whatever you want, but like, where are you going that you're putting your team at yourself, your team, your family at risk? Like, you're supposed to be focused in the season. Like,
that's what has me like confused.
Right.
And like discombobulated. Like, why would you even take the risk? Like, if I'm a player, I'm going from the field. I'm not even showering in the stadium. I'm showering back at the hotel. I'm taking care of myself. I'm staying in. I'm drinking my vitamins. I'm doing what I gotta do to be healthy. Nah, I can't even. I can't even imagine them going out. Like,
right.
That's the only way what plays in my head. Like, they actually went out during their stay wherever they were at.
I'll tell you this much. Since we're on the negative side of things of baseball, let's continue with that. So we could finish off with some positive notes that really has all baseball fans excited. Let's stay in the COVID topic. Like I said, the Mets were always in some dumbass drama, right? So the Mets were shocked, and all the baseball fans in the world were shocked to hear these news. So a couple days back, the Mets were getting ready to play the Atlanta Braves, their division rivals, right? No problem. As usual, every player checks in with their manager or checks in with somebody from the team on a daily basis, But this day in particular, Joanny Cespedes was nowhere to be found. People were getting worried as I heard the tweets, as I saw the tweets. I was at work, watching the tweets and watching everything. I was getting worried because it wasn't just COVID related. Like at the beginning, I thought something had happened.
Yes. So did I. So
remember this name, Joanny Cespedes. Joanny Cespedes is a player that his awaited return was very awaited. Everybody was waiting for that to see what this guy has left in the tank. There was a lot of people criticizing him, to the point where the guy had a lot to prove. I was always on his side, saying no, he still has something left in the tank. He comes back. The pandemic beginning the season helps him out because he has time to recover. Boom, the guy comes in, home run in the first game for the Mets. Everything's looking on the up and up for this guy, right? Wrong, because that day that they were going to play the Atlanta Braves, he was a no-show. The team sent security to his hotel room to see if the guy was there, to see what the hell was going on. No show there either. Nothing. So, blatantly, he leaves a note with his agent to the team saying that he is opting out of the season due to COVID-related reasons. But that is some BS. Why? Because just yesterday, he was taking a picture with some kids in a mall. Like if we're in regular normal times, hugging the kids and everything, paparazzi style photo. And you're telling me that you're opting out of the season for COVID-related issues? You're not doing that, bro. Like, you just, I don't want to say this, but you proved a lot of doubters and a lot of critics right.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what he did.
You should have took advantage of this season to revitalize the last year of your contract with the Mets so that you could have gone into free agency and found even with the Mets or somebody else. But right now, like, you're at age 34 and you pull this stunt, when we as Mets fans, we need you. You were doing great. Maybe the average wasn't there, but your power numbers were still there. You were on the up and up. Yo, talk to me about this shit. What you gotta say?
I think you covered it all, man. It just is for me, it's unprofessional. That's for me really what it is.
You're getting paid millions of dollars to play baseball, and you can't have if you want to opt out for COVID-related reasons, understood. This is a very sensitive topic, no problem. But no, the way you go out is just like my little brother, Angel, would do. Like, something a teenager would do. No signs of professionalism.
Yeah, exactly. That's just unprofessional. That's like working. You're working at you work where you work. You work in a bank. You can't just not even say guys. Just leave without telling anybody. That's unprofessional. That's immature. You're a grown man.
You're on the verge of losing your job, bro. Because what team is going to want you on their team?
You're unreliable.
Especially with all, like I said, all the critics, all the backlash he had because, quote unquote, he didn't have anything left in the tank or whatever, and you add this negativity on top of your career, tiene que manejarte mejor, loco.
You're just tarnishing your career. You're unreliable. Nobody's gonna want to hire you. And now, whoever, if he does sign next year or anybody, it's not gonna be a good contract. It's just gonna be probably a 1 year veterans minimum or 1 year for $2 million.
Right. 1 year for $2 million. If even at that.
Even at that.
So those are some of the negative news that have been affecting the game of baseball in the first week of play, first week and a half of play. Now, let's switch it up. Let's talk about what's going on in the correct way for the game of baseball. Nice, I would say. At the same time, you want to lead off with what? With
I got surprise teams. Yeah, sleeper teams. Some surprise teams. The San Diego Padres have been playing pretty good.
Let me look at the record as you keep on talking.
Better than expected. I got the Colorado Rockies. They're 7-2, first place in the West. Their pitching's been pretty good. Even though they did have Wade Davis, they placed him on a 10-day injured list for a right shoulder strain. This happened today. They put him in the IL. 10-day IL.
Let me tell you something before you keep going. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's all right.
Remember in one of these episodes where, obviously we knew already that baseball was going to be played this year?
Yeah.
And I had asked you and Daryl, what do you think is going to change in this season as far as injuries is concerned? Who's going to be injured more? Is it hitters or pitchers?
Pitcher.
Right? And what are we seeing now?
Pitchers.
A lot of pitchers, bro, coming down with look at what's his name? Verlander. I don't know if he's coming back.
Verlander has had to leave a game for forearm stiffness last weekend, and he may be out for the year. They're saying he's out 2 weeks to a month, but you only got 2 months in the season, so yeah, it's looking like a no-go for this year. Also, Roberto Osuna, the closer for the Houston Astros, will have to have Tommy John.
Oh my God!
He's at the moment doing second opinion, trying not to see therapy or what the case may be, but it's looking like Tommy John. So maybe he will be out for the 2021 season and this year as well.
So you started off as we're getting into the positive news, right? A lot of teams that we don't accustom in seeing
winning
or having a positive outcome very early, or as to this year, 2 months of baseball, regular season, every game counts. Every game counts. So it's good to see the Padres, as you mentioned. The Padres are second in the NL West with a 7-4 record, and leading that division we have Colorado Rockies with a 7-2, and then tied for second, the Dodgers with the Padres with a 7-4 record. So that's really, really, really interesting to see.
Now he brings up the Dodgers. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but
what happened now?
I've just been saying injury. Mookie Betts has a swollen middle finger that won't. It's bothering him.
Right. He just signed the mega $1 million deal.
He is
with the Dodgers.
He is day to day, but I mean it's just a swollen middle finger. It might be a tendon or something that's messed up.
How did that happen?
I think he was hitting, but it was during BP and something. He hit a baseball wrong. He played the game on Sunday, but then he had to be taken out, and he hasn't played since. Corey Seeger,
shortstop for the Dodgers.
Corey Seeger is out as well with quad tightness. Like I was talking to you earlier before we started the podcast, that a lot of these players are gonna have the fatigue is gonna wear on you because you have to play. And I think I said that earlier about the Mets with Cano and the guys, because those are mostly all leg injuries. That they are gonna have fatigue because you're playing every single day, and I don't think that that even though you could train for 4 months or the time that they had off because of COVID and spring training, I honestly don't think that could prepare the body for the everyday wear and tear and the grind of a 60-game season that you're playing literally every day. This is like a college season on steroids.
Right. So this is basically, this season is as follows: 66 days to play 60 games. So yes, we were preparing for this. As I said in episodes before, that I predicted it. I said that there would be a lot of injuries because players didn't get enough time to get their bodies ready for this type of play.
Even with summer camp 2.0 or whatever, the spring training 2.0, it still wasn't enough time.
Let's move on to some positive things.
Some
now,
positive
right,
things about baseball. Aaron Judge was named the American League Player of the Week.
Why? Tell him why. Tell him why. My man Judge, not hating on the Yankees. I'm not hating on them. Good job, the Yankees. Clap it up for the Yankees. The Yankees are taking it right now in the American League East. They're playing.
We are Mets fans, but we got to give it.
You got to give it up.
You got to give credit when credit is due.
That's a fact.
Now,
Can you give the fans a little bit of an insight as to what's going on with Judge and the Yankees?
Aaron Judge, to me, this is like a redemption season. This season, he's here to prove that he is the superstar of baseball.
And he is the face of the Yankees.
He is the face of the Yankees, and he might be the face of Major League Baseball. He understands what it takes to win, and he understands that we got to win now because we have the team and the talent to. And this year,
he's showing it.
He's coming out the gates hot. Listen,
how many home runs does he have?
He has 6 home runs.
6 home runs. What else?
Give me 1 second here.
He's leading the Yankees in like 3 of the 5
Aaron
6
Judge,
offensive categories. Tell you that much right now.
Sorry to cut you off. Aaron Judge in 9 games has 11 hits.
11 hits in 9 games.
6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and is hitting .314.
Wow. And only in 9 games, 6 home runs.
With a slugging of .886 and an OPS of 1.270.
Guy's a problem. He's a problem. Like Brando said,
and he's hitting to all fields.
He's playing with a chip on his shoulder because last year he was injured. He didn't get to play or be the Aaron Judge that we all know he is capable of being. And he just like came and said, "Yo, I'm here. I'm here for my team."
And Nick Castellanos for the Cincinnati Reds was named the National League Player of the Week. He had better numbers than Aaron Judge. He in 11 games so far has hit 14 hits, 6 home runs, 5 prior to tonight, 13 RBIs, and is hitting .378.
The guy's a problem. Is a problem.
And I feel like Nick Castellanos, I'm happy for him because he did come up with the Detroit Tigers as a talented prospect with very high potential, very high ceiling, and I'm happy that I feel like he's comfortable in Cincinnati to where there's no pressure. The pressure's off, so he's just playing baseball and it shows, man. When you're comfortable somewhere, man.
I'm gonna tell you something.
It shows.
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been analyzing the player that is Nick Castellanos ever since he stepped foot in the majors. And to me, he is a very underrated player. Nick Castellanos has a very high ceiling, a lot of room for growth right now. And for the last 3 years, he has been showing the type of player that he is and that he can be in the future.
He can, exactly.
I'm going to tell you this much, bro. Mark my words. Mark my words. Nick Castellanos is going to go down as a second J.D. Martinez. I'm telling you right now. That guy has been showing so much maturity at the plate. It's like no pitcher can pitch to this guy right now. He is on fire, literally. I was telling Brando before we aired the show, how is it that, like I said, every game counts. So how is it that these major league pitchers aren't listening to scouting reports on this guy, on Nick Castellanos? Because the guy, like, they're pitching to him, and he's hitting everything. You can throw him inside, he'll hit it to left field. You can throw him outside to the right field. You could throw him high and up, and he's going to hit a bomb to center field. Like, don't play with this man. And by the way, talking about the Cincinnati Reds, right now, they are second in the
NL Central
with a 5-5 record, 500. They're playing for 500. And that division right now is whoever wants it more. Obviously, the Chicago White Sox are playing tremendous ball. They have a record of 8 wins and 2 losses, right? But Cincinnati is in second place. Milwaukee is 3-4. St. Louis is 2-3. You already heard about what happened to St. Louis losing their key players. So right now, that division is between Chicago and Cincinnati. So we're gonna see. How that plays out.
Yep. I'm excited, man. Especially with the extended playoffs. A lot of teams that might have missed the playoffs last year that had the potential might get in this year. And Cincinnati is a perfect example. They got a good roster. They revamped their bullpen. They revamped the starting rotation.
That's a fact.
They have a team that don't sleep on the Cincinnati Reds. That's all I'm saying.
Mike Moustakas. You seen what Mike Moustakas has been doing?
Moustakas is playing good.
The Mook man.
Eugenio Suarez just hit another home run today. And
right.
He's heating up. He had 49 home runs last year.
Beast.
Can't forget about that. Also, moving on, I want to talk about surprise players. And I'm going to name them, which I didn't even know. I was doing the research prior to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Solano.
For the San Francisco Giants.
The infielder for the San Francisco Giants, former Miami Marlin. He is hitting .457 with 13 RBIs, 16 hits.
God damn.
Which I believe leads the NL. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to check right now.
Donovan Solano was a player that just 2 years ago, we didn't think he was ever going to play in the Major League level. Again, he was playing for Elisei. Estaba jugando con Elisei, loco. Donovan Solano.
He was like, I think he was going to be like a journeyman. Like somebody you had on your roster just in case your starting fielder went down, you had a little plug him in there. But he right now is second in the National League in RBIs, actually tied. And he leads the National League in hits, which is very surprising.
He does.
This year we're going to see a lot of players like that. A lot of players that we didn't expect much. They got 60 games. Some players are 2-month players. Mm-hmm. Get hot, stay hot, and that's it.
What other players do you have that were sleepers that we didn't think were going to? Obviously, it's the first week of baseball, but they're on a hot streak right now that they can, it could last for 2 months. They're very hot. Sleeper players.
Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson for the shortstop for the Atlanta Braves.
He wasn't. He was a good hitter in college, but he hasn't broken out. You know what I'm saying, offensively.
How's he doing in the major right now?
Right now, he's staying hitting in the National League. He's playing a good defense, good glove. He's hitting the ball, and I think this, like I said, I'm reiterating again. I feel like this season is going to be like a stepping stone for a lot of young talent,
right?
To fine
to elevate their game, to put it into a real display.
Yes, to fine tune every little thing that they have going wrong, and work on it. And then next 2021, there's gonna be baseball is gonna be very competitive because every team is gonna have talent.
You got any more sleeper players right now? Because I got at least 2.
I'm good right now.
So. He gave you your sleeper players. I'm gonna give you mine right now. I had mentioned. Look how everything comes into play. I had mentioned.
I have one person, but you go ahead.
I had mentioned before the season started that I had predicted that Stalin Castro was going to be going off to a hot start with the Nationals. He didn't fail to surprise me.
To live up to your expectations.
Exactly.
To be honest, Stalin Castro is another player for me, but. If you look back, guys, at other episodes that we have done, he is a big Stalin Castro fan, pushes him heavy. Shout out to
why. I'll tell you why.
Shout out to Stalin Castro.
Stalin Castro doing great with the Nationals. Just like 3 days ago, he went 5 for 4. 5 for 4, a 4-hit game for a 29-year-old, which, doesn't get talked about as he should. The guy at age 29, I'll reiterate it again, comparing players, right? The guy at age 29 has more hits than Jeter did at age 29 and has more hits than Adrian Beltre, 2 Hall of Famers at age 29. So give credit where it's due, correct? Guy's doing amazing. In a platoon role, actually not, he won the second base role with the Washington Nationals, and then you have Asdrubal Cabrera platooning with some other kid at third base.
Carter Keeble.
You got what I'm saying? He signed for 2 years, $19 million for 2 years, right? The guy is doing amazing. So that's my sleeper player. Do I have more? I wouldn't say Willie Adames, but yes, I'm going to say Willie Adames. Willie Adames last year finished off the year strong, 20 home runs, about 278 average. Okay, a lot of people have criticized him, but the kid is off to a great start. My boy Willie Adames is off to a great start right off the first game, producing for his team. He even batted third the other day for the Rays. Talk to me, baby. Let's go.
I got 2. Now that I remember that Willie, you're ready, man. We always show you love, man. Keep doing your thing.
Keep doing your thing, baby.
One of his teammates that you even talked about him, not on the show, I believe, but you talked about him.
In conversations that we had.
Hunter Renfroe.
He just hit a home run.
Hunter Renfroe is a very, very, very good power hitter.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's gonna find his niche as that he's going to be like Nelson Cruz 2.0. Within time, right now he can play the field still, but he can hit. His bat definitely plays. And I feel like he going to the American League is going to help his career 1,000%. 1,000%.
Talking about Nelson Cruz, bro.
Talking about Nelson Cruz.
Tell him. Go ahead.
I brought up some numbers here.
17 RBIs. Leader in the American League. Nelson Cruz, 40-year-old man. Go ahead.
40 years old. In his 40-year-old season, Nelson Cruz leads the American League as of today in RBIs with 15. In hits, he is tied with Kyle Lewis, who is I'm gonna bring up his name as a surprise rookie, contributing early to his new team. Nelson Cruz has 17 hits, 15 RBIs, is batting .395. That's almost 400. He strikes out a lot, but my man produces, and he's a DH, which is all he does, which is what you have to do. Either you're gonna strike out, or you're gonna hit it out the park. He has 3 home runs as of today, 3 doubles. The man is playing pretty good baseball, and all he does is hit.
That's what they pay him for, to hit the ball, right? To hit home runs, actually, and he's doing so at age 40. Do you think they'll sign him again? I think so. I think so.
I believe
his bat is alive right now.
His bat definitely plays anywhere he'll go or end up.
Moving to the AL Central and a bit of the West. We have guys like Luis Robert, your guy.
Luis Robert.
There's people predicting him to be the next Mike Trout. Literally. The guy has the build. He has the power, exhibiting great power with the Chicago White Sox, hitting home runs.
Good arm.
Great arm and speedy player. So that's exciting to see. Can you give the fans a little bit of an insight as to what is the story behind Luis Robert?
Well, Luis Robert, to me, he's a superstar. He's a Ken Griffey type of player.
How much money did he get?
The man has made over $100 million, and he didn't even step on a baseball field till last week. Over $100 million. With his signing bonus, he got the second highest.
66 or 80, something like that?
No, it was like 20 something. And then he got that was the signing bonus, just to sign him. He got the second highest. Then he ended up renegotiating his contract. I think he signed for. Give me 1 second, guys. He signed for 5 years, approximately worth.
He's a Cuban defected player, coming from Cuba, so he's been through a lot of
only 23 years old.
Only 23 years old. A lot of situations just to make it to the majors. His contract, we're looking it up right now as we speak, and he's starting every day with the Chicago White Sox.
He signed for a 6-year, $50 million contract extension.
On top of the signing bonus they gave him.
It includes 2 $20 million team options that could stretch to Robert's age 29 season and push the total value of the deal to $88 million.
Wow.
So by the age of 29, he could have earned $88 million, but he earned 50
already
without stepping on the baseball diamond. This was in the fall, in the winter, January, that he extended his contract. He has a lot of pressure, but I feel like he can produce. And you are correct. Listen, Chicago White Sox fans, please ride the bandwagon till the wheels fall off. This is like Golden State Warriors in basketball. When Curry got there, Draymond, Klay Thompson. You guys got Nomar Mazara, who I do not understand why Texas traded him or gave up on him. You have Luis Robert. You have Eloy Jimenez. I just named your outfield for the next 10 years.
Don't forget to mention their star pitcher, Giolito.
They have Lucas Giolito, Joel Moncada.
Dallas Keuchel.
Joel Moncada. Keuchel's on a decline.
But he's doing okay.
I'm talking about the future's bright.
But they can contend right now.
The future's bright on the south side.
Right.
The future's bright.
Chicago, what's his name? Edwin Encarnacion, riding the parrot, hitting home runs.
Tim Anderson. I love the way he plays baseball.
They have a squad. Like I said, talking about the AL West now, my personal friend, Jonathan Hernandez, I'm going to highlight his performance in the 2020 season. Jonathan Hernandez was called last year pitcher for the Texas Rangers. He was called up late last year, showed some stuff, and now he is 2-0 with the Rangers, coming off the bullpen. So there's a lot of exciting things to see. Él es de Santiago, loco. Está firmado con Tesa y con las Águilas ya. So, big ups to you, mi hermano. Sigue metiendo mano ahí que te estamos viendo. Y nada, nos sentimos bien. So far, we feel good as to what's happening in the Major League Baseball season this year.
All things considered, I feel like it's been a good first 10 days.
Yeah.
Where, like I said, all things considered, baseball is back. Baseball is being played. Competitive baseball.
The Red Sox are doing trash, but that's okay.
I mean,
they have no pitching. They have no pitching. They have no pitching. And Eduardo Rodriguez has a heart condition now. He has to miss the rest of the season. Boom, bada bing, bada boom.
Heart inflammation, and he did have COVID symptoms. So but I mean, I'd rather him do that than come and play, and things could get much worse. I know we left out the Joe Kelly incident with Carlos Correa.
Talk to him. We can't finish the show without
and
that.
The Dodgers and stuff, and that's.
I think the Astros deserve that. The Astros deserves this type of treatment, and they can't get mad at it. You guys are cheaters, and it's showing now. They're playing horrible defense. The Astros are playing horrible defense. There's some chemistry problems going on, even hitting. They look like ish right now. But we're gonna save that for the next episode. Any last words, Brando?
Like I said, baseball's back this week. We just recapped it as best as we could. Injuries, COVID, who's doing what. I'm excited for this week coming up.
The Yankees are on top of the
Yankees
AL
are
East.
the best team in baseball. They're
Right now.
number 1 in power ranking.
8-1 record.
8-1. Let's just see what this week brings. Hopefully, as a Met fan, the Mets could get healthy. We could win some games. We're playing Washington for a couple of days, and then I think we got Miami.
Yeah.
I think we got Miami. So as a Met fan, let's see what happens, and as a baseball fan, hopefully this COVID thing works itself out and everybody stays healthy.
We have a lot of baseball left. We have a lot of exciting content for you guys. We do weekly episodes, so stay tuned. The only thing I'm hoping for, guys, is that next week we don't have any freaking bad news about the Mets. You know, we have some positive news, right?
DeGrom went 7 innings yesterday, dominating the Braves yesterday. 1-0, first win of the year.
We hope that baseball keeps being played this year, and there's a lot of games left. There's a lot of baseball left, guys. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to this episode. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Facts. Thank you for the support. Keep supporting, guys. We are gonna be on Twitter. Heavy. Follow us on Twitter.
Spotify.
Barrelup _.
Barrelup _baseball on Twitter.
On Twitter. Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Barrelup Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Barrelup _baseball. We do offer baseball training services as well. So, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Nearby, we're in the tri-state area. Just contact us through DM or wherever, and we're here, man. Keep supporting, showing us love, man. Thank you.
Pow, pow.